Tom, is I suppose it's something that's been buzzing around my head for quite a while now, is the way in which we are manipulated by certain companies into believing that we are buying, consuming ethical products, when in fact the people who are providing those products are far, far from being ethical. And it's really scary. There isn't even this area of our lives that we can say, okay, I want to become a vegan. Right, I should become a vegan. I want to eat, let's say, Linda McCartney. So you go and buy Linda McCartney products, expecting that the people who produce those products are doing absolutely everything that they can in order to make this planet more sustainable or more habitable. And then you find out that this simply isn't the case. And it just becomes another piece of fakery that's added to the already existing long list that makes up our existence. I think it's just it's sad as much as anything.
It is, and I mean we're being conned. It's a real example of that. We use the phrase jumping on the bandwagon. What we're seeing is companies exploiting the consumers' desire to buy ethical products in various forms, and repackage companies that don't operate in an ethical way at all in terms of animal welfare, in terms of the environment, etc. But repackaging products to pretend that they're all green or all ethical, when really we discover they're not. So yeah, it's the consumers are being conned over and over again.
Yeah, I'm just want to sort of take us down to start off with the Linda McCartney, because I suppose if you want to put a label on me, I'm a pescatarian. I don't eat any meat whatsoever apart from fish, and we eat fish very sparingly. And the reason I eat fish is because I was quite ill many years ago, and one of the things that a couple of doctors said to me at the time, said, it's all very well being vegetarian, but one meat, if you like, that you do need to consume because the body does value it by far more than any of the others is fish. That's okay, so this explains that. But the rest of my lifestyle is to eat plant-based, fruit-based products. And we do. I mean, I do enjoy some of the Linda McCartney products, and then to find out that they were bought out by the Hain Celestial Group. Okay, well, I didn't know that. Fine. And then you look into the detail behind that particular organization, and sometimes you wish you didn't know these things, because it leaves you in a quandary, doesn't it? If you're trying to attain a diet that obviously, yes, hopefully is more healthy for you, but at the same time it's giving something back to the planet. Bearing in mind we do have to consume to create energy in order to exist. And then you find something out like this, and you say, well, where do I go from here? If I can just read through this one example, and people can go on to Dorsai and they can read the other examples for themselves. Linda McCartney is a pioneer of vegan and vegetarian products, but its owner, Hain Celestial, sells poultry and other meat-based products. The company appears to use factory farm meat across a wide range of products. Hain Celestial also scores worse in a number of our ratings, including climate change, environmental reporting, supply chain management, and likely use of environmental reporting. Despite having a turnover of more than 1 billion, the company is yet to report on its emissions or set a target for emission restrictions in line with international targets. So, I want to see that the people who sell, for example, in this instance, Linda McCartney, as I said before, are going out of their way to try and produce a product and to sell the whole portfolio of products that fall in line with an extremely ethical standard. And then I find out actually they don't give a stuff about most of those ethical standards. It's just part of a portfolio. We've talked about this before. It's part of a portfolio to make them look good, but it's all about appearance and it's not about substance. And as I say, people, please go on to the article themselves and find out for themselves. And probably be extremely surprised at some of the products that they thought they were buying ethically aren't.
Yeah. And like you say, a portfolio of products that this overarching corporation hold, and quite possibly for some of these corporations, they know they're being criticised for their unethical approach to things, and they consciously go, well, buy up a producer of vegan products, and we can add that to our portfolio and claim some sort of ethical approach to what we're doing. We can state that in our annual report to our shareholders that we're doing a good job, and hiding the reality. And what we're seeing, of course, is this buying up of smaller companies by ever bigger companies and corporations, multinational corporations, ultimately, that own the vast majority of companies. So this is what's happening as a part of late stage capitalism, is that there's no kind of mum and pop stores anymore. They've all been bought up, by the big supermarkets. There's no small food brands anymore. They've all been bought up. There's no small entertainment producers of entertainment anymore. They've all been bought up by Sony or Times Warner or whatever. So they all get bought up. They retain, usually in most circumstances, they retain their own identity, and part of that is part of conning the public that they're buying a product from a small company. But really, they're all owned by most things now, whether it's food products, whether it's electrical items, whether it's entertainment that we consume, owned by these enormous multinational corporations who act very unethically in terms of often how they treat their workers, in terms of how they act environmentally, the effect they have on our environment, and in terms of food standards and so on and so forth. And for all of them, it's about the bottom line. It's not about acting ethically. It's just about making as much profit as possible for their shareholders. And we're being conned. I mean, I was shocked to read that. Linda McCartney. Wow. I just assumed that that's still smallish Linda McCartney company by a bigger, very company that acts very unethically when it comes to animal welfare. Just shocking.
Yeah.
Shocking.
And just to finish off as well, the way in which these supermarkets, when you go down the aisles and you're looking for healthy food, and the product placement in relation to sugary foods or foods with high numbers of numbers aimed at children or whatever, it completely defeats the purpose to have all of these health food products and then attached alongside them high in salt, high in sugar, high in toxic chemicals, to be fair. So well, I would make can I just make a request? Can I just make a request? Sorry, yeah, sorry. Can I just make a request to our viewers? If you find anything out there that people should know about, whatever it might be, whether it's to do with food, or what to do with any aspect of their life, if you find out anything that you think people should know about, don't just stick it as a post on social media. If you're on social media, because it slips down really, really quickly and people forget about it. Put the evidence, the information together. It can be as short as you like, as long as it's got the substance, or it can be longer, and submit to the Dorset Eye, and we'll publish it and we'll get it out there, and you can get it out there, and it'll be out there forever, as opposed to being disposed of by the algorithms on social media, as I say, really quickly. And we can get people to understand, so it informs them, because in a democracy, you need to be informed. If you're going to make decisions, they have to be enlightened decisions. There's no point responding to lies and half-truths and fake, because the outcome will be a response, we know, will be determined by that. So let's share this information and get it out there and enlighten people.
Absolutely, Jace. Yeah, encourage people to do that. And I just wanted to pick up on something you said there about, you know, the availability of junk food, essentially the stuff that's really bad for us, rises in obesity, especially childhood obesity, and you know, the psychological game that supermarkets play with us. Eddie Izzard, the comedian, talked about how most supermarkets have fresh fruit and veg as the first thing that you come to. So you go in and everything looks fresh and healthy, and you, as Eddie Izzard said, you think, I will do well here. But you go along to all the other aisles, on the end of the aisles, all the deals, all the buy one get one free, the bog offs and the you know, 3 for the price of 2 and whatever. It's all the crisps and the cake and the chocolate and the, you know, the high fat, high sugar, high salt junk food content that's reduced and that's cheapest, that's on the end of the aisle displays that catch our attention, that's on offer. And we can't resist an offer, and things look cheap, we grab it. I'm as guilty as anyone for doing that. And yet, and then we wonder why, you know, we're suffering with massive problems with obesity, diabetes, you know, preponderance of diabetes. And of course, they've had this problem in America for a long time. A large proportion of the population are obese. And it's becoming more of a problem here. And also part of that is to do with the preponderance of high fructose corn syrup, which is like a version of sugar, which is very fattening and is found in everything, particularly soft drinks, fizzy drinks, you know, one of the worst things.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So yeah, but the supermarkets con us, really, making us think, oh, this is a healthy place, and really what they're encouraging us to buy the most is the junk.
Yes. Yeah. And why? Because a lot of the stuff that they put in the junk food helps us to make ourselves feel better for a very, very, very short space of time, but it gives us that instant gratification. Now, what is it about our lives on a day-to-day basis that requires so much injection of instant gratification? It suggests to me that our lives are generally miserable, stressed out, largely substanceless, that we have to go and get this quick fix so often. And that's scary as well. Why not just make our lives different? Why not make our lives more empowered, freer, get us out of this cage, and then we won't spend all our lives being addicted to salt, sugar, and these chemicals.
You're right. I mean, when you're working for the man, you know, you need your sugar rush on a regular basis.